All right, so remember how I was telling you guys one of your little tips that you guys could do is to just get up and go for a walk when you have time. I'm going to go do that right now. So this next video is going to be shot with me walking through the community. So let's get it. Here we go. Oh, looks like a beauty day outside. All right, so this next topic is called well-being benefits of physical activity. And so what we're going to learn today is how physical activity can help your body in more ways than one. So the first thing we got to do is we have to define what well-being is. A holistic term used to describe the overall health of somebody in all their facets of life. So there are 7 dimensions of well-being. The first one is the physical dimension, which is your body. The second one is your intellectual dimension of well-being, which is like your brain and your thinking. Your third one is your emotional dimension of well-being, so your feelings. Your fourth one is the social dimension of well-being, which kind of has to do with like your relationships with people. Your fifth one is the spiritual dimension of well-being, so any faith or beliefs that people may have. And your sixth one is the occupational dimension of well-being, which is the different roles that people have, whether it be work or school. And then the last one is the environmental dimension of well-being. So that is kind of like where you live, what kind of living situations you're in, and how that's going to affect your health. I'm gonna cross the road here. I hit the button, but use the elbow, COVID. And I gotta cross the road now. Gonna cross the next road, but as I did before, you don't want to touch it with your hands, COVID, so just give a little bit of elbow. There we go. All right, so we're going to talk about the very first dimension of well-being that can be improved with physical activity. The most basic and obvious one is your physical dimension of well-being. So as some of you have probably heard at some point in your life, physical activity is good for all of the following. So it is good for your heart health, helps you have a stronger heart. It's good for your respiratory system, which is like your lungs and all of the body parts that help you breathe. It's good for your body composition, and body composition is just a term used to describe how much lean muscle and body fat an individual has. And physical activity is also good for sleep. So the more active people are, the better, deeper sleep that they'll end up having. And it's also good for bone health. So people who are more active, the more activity you have tends to make your bones stronger. And now we're going to move on to the intellectual dimension of well-being. So physical activity helps improve your intellectual, remember that was like your brain. It helps improve your intellectual dimension of well-being by doing the following. So when you are being active, you are going to help increase your brain's ability to think and reason. When you are more physically active, it helps your brain be able to concentrate better. And when you're more active, it also helps increase your memory. So all of these things are very, very good to have when you are a student and you are studying and needing to make sure that you're learning and understanding information. One quick study I'll quickly reference is that they did a study in the United States, I forget how many years ago, but basically they had one group of kids who didn't do any physical activity before a test and another group who did. And the kids who did the physical activity before their test did better than the subjects who did not have physical activity. So basically what the study is showing is that physical activity can help improve brain function, which is going to help increase your grades in school. So making sure that you guys are getting a bit of activity in a day and giving yourself a bit of brain breaks is going to help you make sure that you do a lot better in school. Now we're going to talk about the social dimension of well-being. So remember, this was the dimension of well-being that has to do with like your relationships with people. So physical activity is really good for helping boost your social dimension of well-being because you are, a lot of times in phys ed class or playing sports or doing group fitness classes, you're more likely to make friends because you're just kind of getting to meet new people. It's a good way to meet people. So it helps you make new friends. It can also help you connect with current friends and family. And it's always a good source of laughter. So I've been teaching phys ed now for going on my 4th year, and I can tell you right now, I have not seen one phys ed class where I haven't seen people laughing and smiling and having fun in class. So all of these things do wonders for helping people build new relationships or strengthen current relationships they already have. All right, and lastly, the last dimension of well-being that physical activity improves that we're going to cover today is the emotional dimension of well-being. So when you exercise, your brain releases these chemicals, and basically what they do is they're going to help you feel happier, more relaxed and calm. So physical activity helps you just kind of feel more relaxed and leaves you in a better mood than you were before you started. It can also help relieve symptoms of depression and anxiety in some people who have those disorders, and with increased self-confidence and increased self-esteem. And this could be for any different number of reasons. Maybe people feel good about how their body looks, or maybe they feel good about how they did in the sport, or maybe they just feel good that they were able to do something today and did something that they know that makes them feel good in the long run. So that's the end of this video. Stay tuned for the next one, and I might still be walking. Who knows? Here we go.